walk through absence management 25A new updates and the new features. So Gayatri, over to you.
Hi team, these are the slides regarding this absence management 25A updates. Here we can see the complete update what are just released on 25A. Like the first one is like then unlimited concurrent absence, which seems while we are creating an absence type, okay, we have a new option called concurrency field. I'll just tell you what exactly it is. One absence will be overlapped with another absence. So we have some options in that in concurrency field how many times we can able to overlap it. Okay, I have also just provided you the screenshots for it. You can take any absence type, and while you're going to this particular option like display features, we have a new option called concurrency. In concurrency there are four options which is newly been enabled. See, these are the four one, like enabled one, not enabled, and unlimited. Like if it is enabled, you can overlap the absence type. If this is not enabled, you cannot overlap with another existing absence type. This unlimited one, n number of times you can overlap with the absence type. This is what actually the screenshot represents here exactly. See, I'll just going to the absence type. I can also walk you through this absence page on it, absence type for it. You can navigate to absence type. You can take any absence type and you'll be finding this particular screenshots. This one. Just taking it in random. I'm giving you a random search. Whatever is existing in the system, we can find. We can just take this off. Always go with the correct one, not with the update one. Here in the display features, this is where this option has been. To enable this, here also we have an edit option to do. For the concurrency, this is one. Disable, enable, and unlimited. This is default. Like if this is enabled, you can do the overlapping of two absence types. Here you can't, like disable you can't do, enable you can do, and this is you can do unlimited times. These are all the options which came with the first one. Changing anything which is existing in the system. Yeah. And the second update will be like self-service qualified entitlement display. This is an option which is newly been enabled, which is in the name of balance display. But this particular feature you can't able to see in the system because we need an existing visual builder extensive to enable this particular this option to be enabled. And if this is VB is enabled, then these two options are displayed in the system. By default of 25A, it is not enabled in the system. Okay. Here, this shows the balances of worker balance display and manager display. Below these options, there are this particular four options. Like if the balance is there, it will not display if do not display is there. If always display option is there, even if the person is not entitlement to that particular, he is not qualified to the role, even then the option will be displayed. Even when it is eligible, this option will be enabled. Even it is not when it is in use, this will be enabled. Like four different scenarios are there. Like according to the customer's requirement, it changes. So these are the four things which comes under these two options. When enabling this visual basic builder extensibility, you can able to view this on the application. And third one is this is an Redwood absence balance performance improvement, which in a sense this REST API comes into the picture. Okay, by using this REST API, you can minimize a SQL queries being used. When a SQL query is used, like find by these are the SQL queries that are used in the system. This can be replaced by using REST API. This is also not, like we don't need any specific feature to enable this. It is like a default of 25A. Since it's in the SQL side, I can't able to just project you on the system for this. This is just a, like in the systematic performance, improving the performance is what it comes up in this particular feature. Okay, not a specific display and all. Okay. And the first thing, next one comes with this, experience of absence cases. This is like, no specific thing has been enabled. One profile option will be enabled. I'll just show you in the screen. Here, what happened is, you can go to from the front end, from the UI page, you can go to the absence thing. The visibility, only the UI improvement has been searched. I am just searching for a random user. We are taking Curtis Fierty as an example. Only the UI feature has been changed for this particular enhancement. Okay. In order to just enable this enhancement, we have an profile option to be enabled, like manage admin profile values. And you have to select this particular profile option. We have to check whether it has been enabled or not. If this is enabled, the absence view will be displayed like this, or the old version will be displayed. And this is defaultly, it is displayed for this 25A. While I was checking in the system, by default, I was able to find this absence view that is specific this UI in the system. Enhancement of the UI is what is done there. See, in the system manager profile, I have also taken a screenshot for you. We have to search this. We'll find it. We have to see whether the profile option is enabled as yes or no. If it is yes, that's all. This particular UI will be displayed. And next one, like, workforce scheduling with the existing absences. This is like, while a particular person is applying for a leave. Earlier, what will happen is we have evaluate absences in order to calculate what is the total leave the person has applied for. While we are running workforce scheduling with this existing absences, the system will understand, like it will recalculate the plan breakups. In order to, it will not take the complete day as zero. It will just take the time, like which, like 3 hours or 4 hours, or what is the split up the person has applied for, like that, and it will calculate. Earlier, this doesn't take. It completely takes the duration as zero. The entire day is completed as zero. This is also not a feature that has been enabled anywhere. It is like a 25-way update automatically comes up in the system. This is like workforce scheduling with this existing absence part. And here, this flexible work pattern and absence entry. This is also like newly they have enabled it, which is comes up with 25A. No other specific feature to be enabled for this. Here, what will happen is when a particular employee which has this no published work schedule. Okay, there's no work schedule attached to that particular employee. If this is the case, what will happen? This is what the scenario comes here. For example, if a person is working from Monday to Sunday, Saturday, only one day of off, like morning 6 a.m. to evening 6 p.m. This is the work duration. Okay. If and when Sunday he is not available, this is the scenario for the particular worker. Okay. In this case, what happened? The system checks this future dates, which is existing outside this work schedule timing, and it adjusts accordingly the system. This particular option does this. That is, um, this specific option, what it does it now? Earlier, it was not doing that case. What is there in the work schedule? It allows that, which is, for example, if I'm applying one date, which is on Sunday, the system will not allow. Now, what it is doing is it is predicting and it is adjusting according to the timing. These are all the options, like recently been updated. You can get this picture while you just practice working on absence. It will be a raw man language when I'm just telling you in detail for this particular these things, because everything is interrelated with work patterns and the schedules. This one second and the earlier one, these are all like comes under the scheduling part. So while you work with the system, you'll understand it in depth, but because they have given it a very clear scenario for this, even if you work on it, you'll be very picture, we'll get the picture perfect details on it. Another one enhancement was the calendar enhancement, which is like when two particular events are scheduled in, for example, 10 o'clock you have a meeting, another night 10 o'clock you have a meeting, like 2-3 hours meeting it is, which will be extended to the next day. In that case, this is not occupying Monday is the meeting, Tuesday midnight the meeting extends. In this case, it shows only Monday. That is the start time alone the system shows, so that the calendar will not seems to be clumsy. This enhancement happens in the calendar one. Okay, for example, people working in US shifts know that better. Like midnight, like 12 o'clock meeting starts until 2 o'clock if the meeting is there. 12 to 2, the system will occupy the complete calendar. That is not going to happen anymore. If it is on 12 o'clock, only the 12 o'clock being scheduled, leaving 1 and 2, like empty, so that the start time will be picture perfect in the calendar. That part comes over here, and then comes this compensatory time rate configuration. This is actually a new feature being enabled. This, in the sense, you can see on the compensatory time. I can show you this in the system exactly. You can take any absence plan. Below this entries and balances, this rate date rule, this particular option is newly be just introduced below this part. Here I'll just show you. You can take any absence plan for it. Entries and balances. In this instance, it's not found over here, but here we'll find this. See, absence payment pay rule, final disbursement bill, in between this thing, the new one has been updated like a rate date rule. This is what we are talking about, this rate with absence date and earned date. Two options are enabled over there, which is not right now, are not found in the system. But here, while I was just creating the docs, yes, it was there. So I can provided you the screenshots for it. See this one. Here, they are just mentioning what is their absence date and what is this earned date, according to which the person who is taking up the off will be paid. It is like an earned one, like for example, per hour he's getting like $8 or $10. It is regarding that, or the absence of the work pay rate. Which one to be selected is what this absence date and earned date will be done. But we don't need any specific feature to be enabled. I'm not pretty sure like why this option is not enabled in this particular instance. Earlier it was there. So these are the complete things, it was available on the 25A thing. And apart from it, another one part is this forfeit plan balances. This is also like, this comes into the picture. Only particular plan is changed on this scenarios. When an employee is being either transferred or he's, from one legal entity to another one, or like, he has been terminated or is eligible from some, some qualification has been done. In this case, this particular option is there. It is just, the enabling option. See, you can just see in the system like this one option has been added to the system. That's all. Well, you're going to an absence plan. See whether I can show you here in the system. And the absence plan eligibility for one loss. Let me try to reopen. See, this option has been enabled over here. While we are selecting this option, this is done only if under the scenario of transfers or changing the legal employee or for termination. Under these scenarios, this option has been enabled. This is the new one which comes into the picture now. Portrait positive balance. And see, I have given that screenshot what I showed you right now. And then the pay rate configuration option for this accrual plans. Here, this rate date rule is what actually I shown you, like which is been absence date or carryover date. The same thing as I told you earlier, this particular option is also the rate section, which calculates either the current thing or the earned one, the absence or the carryover one. For the work rate, like if it is $8 per day, for per hour. If it is $8, it has to be calculated, or the earned one has to be calculated, is what this option absence date and carryover date comes in here. Here also, you can show the same thing, a rate date one. This is what this complete update of 25A, which recently came out. So if you're having any doubts on this, you can ask me. I can give you the clarity on it. And with this work schedule and the calendar one, I suggest you to strongly just try in the system so that you'll have a then number of questions for this, specifically for this one, flexible work pattern absences and this work schedule with existing absences. While you're attaching a profile, you'll get this.
Okay. So apart from this, have we covered everything?
Yes, yes, this is completely of 25A of absence.
Okay. Thank you for this. So I have